If you're a man over 60 and you wake up tired, even after a full night's sleep, it's not your age. It might actually be what you're eating first thing in the morning, because one so-called healthy breakfast food could be quietly shrinking your blood flow, while another, much simpler one, can start rebuilding your circulation, your stamina, and yes, your performance, in just days. I know that sounds unbelievable, but stay with me, because what I'm about to show you could completely change how your mornings feel, how much energy you have by midday, and even how confident you feel in the moments that matter most. And the best part? You don't need medication, gym memberships, or complicated routines. The fix starts in your kitchen tomorrow morning. Before I reveal exactly which food is responsible, and the single swap that can boost your circulation fast, let me give you a quick one you can use right now. Your body already has the ability to rebuild healthy blood flow at any age. It just needs the right signal. One of my patients, a 67-year-old retired teacher, saw measurable improvement in blood pressure and morning energy within just 7 days, simply by changing one thing on his breakfast plate. I'll tell you exactly what he did, and how you can do it too. But first, let's understand why this matters so much for men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond. I am Dr. Mei Anderson. I've spent over 25 years helping men restore their vitality, confidence, and performance naturally. And let me tell you something I've learned over those years. When circulation slows, every part of life feels it. Energy dips, focus fades, motivation disappears, and intimacy often follows. And unfortunately, most men think, well, that's just aging. But that's not the full story. When I sit down with my patients, they don't just talk about low energy, they talk about losing a sense of themselves. They say things like, I used to wake up ready to take on the day, now I just feel sluggish. Or, I still love my wife, but it's like my body doesn't cooperate anymore. If any of that sounds familiar, you need to know, it's not about getting older. It's about what's happening inside your blood vessels every single morning. Here's what I mean. Poor morning circulation doesn't just make you tired. It limits oxygen to your muscles, slows recovery, and yes, it affects performance where men least expect it. When arteries stiffen or narrow, blood can't move efficiently. Less oxygen reaches your heart, your brain, and other vital areas that define a man's vitality. And every day this goes unchecked, your arteries lose a little more flexibility, your energy fades a little more, your confidence slips a little further. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Most men start their day with foods that actually make this problem worse. They think they're eating healthy, but they're unknowingly triggering blood sugar spikes that constrict blood vessels and reduce nitric oxide, the molecule responsible for opening your arteries and supporting performance. So instead of fueling your body, your breakfast might be sabotaging it. I had a patient named Mr. Roberts, 67 years old, a retired teacher I mentioned earlier. He came into my clinic and said, Doc, I just don't feel like myself anymore. I'm walking slower, I'm getting winded on the stairs, and things in the bedroom aren't what they used to be. He wasn't overweight, he wasn't lazy, and he wasn't on heavy medication. What he was doing was eating what most nutritionists would call a heart-healthy breakfast. Oatmeal, skim milk, maybe some orange juice. Sounds perfect, right? But what he didn't know is that this combo was spiking his insulin and narrowing his arteries for hours afterward. Instead of putting him on another pill, I made one simple change to his breakfast. And what happened over the next 7 days stunned even me. His morning blood pressure readings dropped by 10 points. His afternoon energy shot up. And after 2 weeks, he told me his stamina, in every sense of the word, had noticeably improved. So, what did he change? I'll tell you the exact food in just a moment, but first you need to understand why it worked. As we age, our arteries naturally lose elasticity. That's normal. But here's the hidden issue. Your body also produces less nitric oxide, a natural compound that relaxes and widens your blood vessels, allowing for stronger circulation and better oxygen delivery. By your mid-60s, nitric oxide production can drop by as much as 50%. And when that happens, your blood flow suffers everywhere. But the good news? You can restore it. And you can start doing it through the right foods. Certain nutrients, especially those found in one specific seed I'll reveal in just a minute, can jumpstart nitric oxide production naturally. The key is to feed your body the compounds that signal your arteries to open up again. When you do that consistently, you begin reversing the very process that's been making you feel older, slower, and weaker. Now, when I tell patients this, the first thing they ask is this proven, or is it just another internet myth? I get it. There's a lot of nonsense online. But here's the science. Harvard researchers found that men who increased their intake of nitric oxide, boosting foods experienced up to a 21% improvement in circulation within just 2 weeks. Mayo Clinic studies have shown that this also supports stronger cardiovascular function and better stamina during physical activity, including intimacy. And yet, most men never hear about this because they're told the only solution is medication. But the truth is, your body wants to fix this. It just needs the right fuel to do it. When Mr. Roberts switched out that healthy breakfast, his body responded almost immediately. By the end of week 1, his morning walks got easier. By week 2, his wife noticed he had more energy throughout the day. And by week 4, his doctor actually reduced his blood pressure medication. That's not magic. It's biology working the way it's supposed to. Now, before I reveal exactly what that food is, let's talk about what's sabotaging you. Because it doesn't matter if you're eating well the rest of the day. If your morning starts with the wrong food, you're setting yourself up for poor circulation all day long. Here's the culprit: refined carbohydrates paired with low-protein meals. When you eat something like cereal, toast, or juice on an empty stomach, your blood sugar skyrockets. Your insulin spikes, your arteries tighten, and your body diverts energy away from your muscles and toward sugar regulation. The result? You feel sluggish, unfocused, and weaker than you should. You've probably felt it before. That mid-morning crash, the feeling that your energy just vanishes. It's not your age. It's your breakfast chemistry. And here's where the surprise comes in. There's one nutrient-packed root vegetable that reverses that chemistry fast. It's inexpensive, easy to prepare, and proven to boost nitric oxide naturally: beetroot. That's right. The same vegetable you might have ignored for years is a powerhouse for men's circulation. The natural nitrates in beets convert to nitric oxide inside your body, expanding blood vessels and allowing oxygen and nutrients to flow more freely. Now I'll walk you through exactly how to add it to your morning routine in part 2 of this video. But for now, let's go a little deeper into how it works. Because understanding the why is what gives you power. When you eat beets, or beet powder, which is just as effective, your body converts the nitrates into nitric oxide within about 90 minutes. That's why many men who drink beet juice in the morning report feeling more energetic by mid-morning. It's not psychological, it's physiological. Blood flow improves, muscles get more oxygen, and your cells perform better. And this isn't limited to physical stamina. Improved circulation means more oxygen to your brain as well, which is why many men report clearer thinking and better focus after just a few days of consistent use. Now, some of you might be wondering, okay, but how much is enough? Do I need to eat a whole bowl of beets? Not at all. Studies show that even half a cup of cooked beets or 1 scoop of beetroot powder mixed into a smoothie or oatmeal can deliver measurable improvements. You don't need to overhaul your diet, just a strategic morning tweak. I'll show you exactly how to combine it for maximum effect in a moment, but let me leave you with this. Your circulation defines your energy, your stamina, and your confidence. And you have far more control over it than you've been told. Because when blood flow improves, life improves. Now let's talk about how to make this work for you, because eating beets alone isn't the full answer. You need the right combination that keeps your blood sugar steady, fuels your muscles, and supports nitric oxide production all day long. Think of your breakfast like the ignition system of a car. One wrong spark plug, and the whole engine runs rough. The formula I teach my patients is simple. I call it the triple flow breakfast. It has 3 parts: a nitric oxide booster, a clean protein, and a stabilizing fat. When you get those 3 together, circulation improves, energy lasts longer, and that afternoon crash disappears. Start with your nitric oxide booster: half a cup of cooked beets, or 1 scoop of beetroot powder. Blend it into a smoothie, stir it into oatmeal, or add it to eggs. Then add your protein, 2 boiled eggs, or a cup of Greek yogurt. Finally, add your fat source: half an avocado or a spoonful of extra virgin olive oil. This trio tells your arteries, stay open, stay flexible. I can almost hear you thinking, that sounds simple. Can it really make a difference? Absolutely. Within the first week, most of my patients notice their energy staying steady until lunch. By week 2, morning stiffness eases up. By week 3, their workouts, or their intimacy, start feeling easier and more responsive. Let me tell you about another patient, Mr. Benson, 72. He tried every supplement under the sun, ginseng, zinc, you name it, but nothing changed. We replaced his usual toast and jam breakfast with the triple flow combo. On day 4, he called my office and said, I don't know what's happening, but I feel alive again. That was just from better blood flow. Here's the interesting part. You don't need to eat beets every day to maintain results. 3 to 4 mornings a week is enough to keep nitric oxide levels high. On the other days, you can rotate with other nitrate-rich foods, like spinach, arugula, or pomegranate juice. The key is consistency over perfection. Now, some of you might be wondering, what if I hate the taste of beets? I get it, they're earthy. That's why I often recommend powdered beetroot blends. They mix easily with water or smoothies, and the good brands retain the same nitrate concentration. Just check that there's no added sugar, because sugar is the enemy of circulation. Speaking of sugar, here's a surprising fact that shocks most men. Every time you start your day with juice or cereal, your arteries constrict for up to 2 hours. 2 hours. That means if you eat that way daily, your blood vessels spend half your waking life in a tightened state. Now imagine doing that for 20 years. That's why small changes add up to big transformations. And it's not just physical. Better circulation boosts mental clarity too. Many men tell me, Doc, I feel sharper. I'm remembering things again. That's because your brain thrives on oxygen. When your blood moves better, your mind wakes up with it. But let's circle back to what this is really about. It's not just food, it's identity. You've spent your whole life taking care of others, working hard, providing, showing up. You deserve to feel strong, capable, and energetic again. You deserve mornings where you stand tall and say, I've still got it. That's what I see in my patients when they commit to this change. Mr. Roberts, the retired teacher, sent me an email just last month. He wrote, Dr. Anderson, I'm walking farther than I have in years, and my wife says I look younger. My only regret is that I didn't start sooner. Messages like that are why I make these videos, because every man deserves that feeling of getting his life back. Now let's make this practical. Here's how you can start tomorrow morning. Before bed tonight, prepare your breakfast base. Roast or boil half a cup of beets, or mix 1 scoop of beet powder into a shaker bottle. In the morning, add your protein source, maybe eggs or Greek yogurt, and a little healthy fat like avocado or olive oil. Drink a glass of water, maybe with a squeeze of lemon for extra vitamin C, which helps nitric oxide last longer in your bloodstream. That's it. 5 minutes, done. Do this 3 mornings a week for the next 2 weeks. Then pay attention. Notice how your energy feels at 10 a.m. Notice how your walks or workouts feel by week 2. Notice your confidence returning. These small wins build momentum, and momentum rebuilds identity. You see, the biggest mistake men make isn't eating the wrong thing. It's believing change has to be complicated. It doesn't. Your body wants to recover. It just needs you to give it a chance. And here's a quotable truth I tell every patient. Age doesn't cause decline, neglect does. You're not losing strength because you're 65. You're losing it because your arteries are hungry for the right fuel. Feed them well, and they'll thank you faster than you think. Another quote my viewers love is this. Energy is confidence in motion. When your blood flows, your confidence shows. That's the real power of fixing circulation. It changes how you carry yourself, how you think, and how you connect. Now, I want to share a quick scientific insight that always surprises people. A study from the University of Exeter found that men who drank beet juice before exercise increased their endurance by 16%. That's the equivalent of rolling back your biological clock by nearly a decade in terms of stamina. 10 years, from a glass of beet juice. And that's not rare. I've seen men in their 70s feel like they're in their 50s again, not because of magic, but because of consistent blood flow support. So here's what I want you to do after watching this. Commit to 2 weeks. Just 2. Swap your usual breakfast for the triple flow combo 3 mornings each week. Measure how you feel. You don't need fancy equipment. Just notice your energy, your focus, your motivation. If you're taking medication, check with your doctor first, especially for blood pressure. Because as your circulation improves, your numbers may change faster than expected. That's a good problem to have. And if you start feeling better, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Because there are millions of men over 60 who have silently accepted fatigue and weakness as normal. It's not normal, it's fixable. Now before we wrap up, let's close the loop on Mr. Roberts. Remember, he started with one change, adding beets to breakfast. A month later, he wrote me again. He said, "I'm back to doing yard work, walking every morning, and I feel like I did 15 years ago." His doctor was so impressed he asked for the recipe himself. That's the ripple effect of one small habit. And that's why I made this channel. Because when one man regains his vitality, it doesn't just change his life. It changes his marriage, his family, and his sense of purpose. You deserve that. Every man does. So here's my personal invitation. If this message resonated with you, if you're ready to take control of your circulation, your energy, and your performance, then hit subscribe right now. Because in my next video, I'm going to show you what to avoid at dinner that can silently undo all the good you do at breakfast. It's one food most men eat every night, and removing it can multiply your results. Don't miss that one. It could be the difference between progress and plateau. And before you go, tap the like button if this helped you, and share it with another man who deserves to feel strong again. You might change his life without even knowing it. Remember this. Your body isn't giving up on you. It's waiting for you to give it what it needs. You have more power than you think, and the results can start in just days. I'm Dr. Mei Anderson, and this is Vital Health Seniors, your trusted place to rebuild strength, confidence, and performance naturally. I'll see you in the next video.